Alright, welcome back everyone. I'm Niz, and you're watching NizCast. We are in the semi-finals of the Semi-Pro Cup Series. There we go. It's not the Semi-Cup, it's a Semi-Pro Cup Series. We've got, once again, OverAchievers playing on the Dire side this time. They're going to be going up against Pepe's Love Shack, who's going to be on the Radiant. And, well, based on what they just said in the lobby chat, this is actually the first night for Pepe's Love Shack as a team. And we've got Exiled, not only drafting for them, but he's also one of the admins for SCS, so he's helping keep everything moving and rolling forward. But it looks like these guys draft actually pretty quickly, as we've got Axe, Lion, Troll, and Sniper all removed from the pool. And that freed up the possibility for the Vengeful Spirit and Bat Rider opening for OverAchievers. Pepe's Love Shack chose to go with the Juggernaut Ancient Apparition. So who are the big ticket heroes still left in the pool? I'm going to have to say Lena's still available.
Radiant team ban.
Most of them are actually banned, to be quite honest. Maybe Slark's a little bit available as well. I'm not sure if he's one of those big ticket heroes, but Shadow Fiend, Storm Spirit, they're also still available in the pool. Rubik will be removed from OverAchievers. And just taking a look at their roster, it looks like we've got, once again, a completely different lineup for OverAchievers, as we've got Sadness joining us, and Tugarin as well. And I feel like Tugarin's been looking for a team for such a long time. Hopefully he can find a spot soon.
10 seconds
but
remaining.
yeah, it looks like we've got a couple new faces, or at least new faces for tonight, playing for OverAchievers, and we can see that only Tugarin's the only one who's not actually on their team. So I guess as the night goes on, they're getting closer and closer to their actual full team. Skywrath will be the ban for Pepe's Love Shack. And that's a hero that's actually quite strong against the Juggernaut. It really, of course, if you can silence the Juggernaut, that means there's a possibility that he's not going to get his Omni Slash off before you're able to burst him down. And if he's not able to get his Omni Slash off, well, why are you picking Juggernaut? He becomes a little bit of a liability there if he's not able to reliably get that off, because he's
10 seconds remaining.
The main strength of that hero is not only his ability to farm,
5 seconds remaining.
But just the strength of that Omni Slash and how much damage it can do while you're not able to do anything about it. And OverAchievers with their 4th ban will remove the Dazzle, so they're not going to go for it this time. And there's the Slark getting removed by Pepe's Love Shack, and now they've got a little bit of a choice. What are they going to go with here? I think...
Wind Ranger at your service.
Well, that's not what I was thinking, but they're going to pick up the Wind Ranger, and that actually helps disguise their draft a little bit more. We don't know if that Wind Ranger is going to be support. We don't know if it's going to be mid. And we actually don't know if it's going to be offlane either. As offlane Wind Ranger, not typically seen too often, although I was watching a game. I don't remember if I was casting it, but it was fairly recently, within the last week. Where there was a Wind Ranger offlane. It was actually quite effective. So who knows, maybe Pepe's Love Shack will choose to put the Wind Ranger in the offlane. It's not something that we typically see too often, but Wind Ranger is a hero that we typically don't see too often. So they're definitely mixing it up a little bit here. OverAchievers, they've already got their offlaner in the Bat Rider, and they're more aggressive support, so they're going to go with the Silencer. They picked up the Silencer with Soulfu played 2 games ago. So apparently they really like playing Silencer, and once again that's going to give them a silence to prevent the Juggernaut from being able to get that Omni Slash off, and then he'll just have to respect that silence a little bit more. But it also will limit any other any future picks coming out from Pepe's Love Shack. The other two not really the most affected by silence, although they are, but they're not. It's not like they're going to jump in and they've got like a huge AoE ultimate like a Ravage or something like that they need to get off immediately, and a global silence will really prevent them from doing that. But that's actually worth pointing out, the fact that if you look at Pepe's Love Shack's lineup, they need some kind of control in their team fight. They don't really have any. They've got maybe a little bit of slow coming out from AA. They've got the potential for a Shackle Shot coming out from Wind Ranger, but beyond that, they don't have much control in the team fight, and they're actually going to go with Bristleback here. So once again, not much control. So maybe they're going to have to pick up something in their 5th pick that's going to give them that kind of control, but I'm not sure what's available to them. As it looks like they're going to have the Bristle in the off lane, the Juggernaut, AA, and I don't know, maybe the Wind Ranger in the safe lane, or the Wind Ranger could be in the mid lane, we're not sure. But either way, I think that last pick is going to have to give them some kind of control.
10 seconds remaining.
OverAchievers, they've already got their support duo and their off-lane Bat Rider,
5 seconds
and now they just
remaining.
need to make a decision on how they're going to deal with both this Juggernaut and the Bristleback, as they're probably the ones that are most scared about, and they're going to go with
Radiant
the
team
Dusa, a hero
back.
that's nice and tanky, doesn't really have to worry too much about the Juggernaut Omni Slash, because she's got a ridiculous amount of HP. Of course, her HP pool extends into her mana pool as she has a mana shield. So she's got a ton of HP to keep her alive.
Dire team
And
ban.
frankly, Bristleback's just going to kind of tickle her with constantly using the cool sprays. As once again, she's got that gigantic health pool. And she even gets a respectable amount of armor through the amount of agility she gets, because she just stacks so many stat items. Pepe's Love
Radiant
Shack will
team
ban out
pick.
the Storm Spirit with their 5th ban. And OverAchievers will remove the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin, of course, very strong against Dusa. It'll also give them a little bit of that CC. So based on that pick, based on that ban, they're assuming the Wind Ranger is most likely going to be in the mid lane, and they're looking after a support. Although we can run the Nyx in the mid lane as well.
10
So
seconds
maybe
remaining.
we still don't know. Or they still don't know what the Wind Ranger is going to be.
5
And I think
seconds remaining.
the only ones that will know is going to be Pepe's Love Shack. And, well, they're taking their time with this 5th pick.
Reserve time.
Like I said, I think it's got to be something that's going to give them a lot more control in a team fight. There's a lot of options available to them, though. What is going to be the most valuable? The problem is that you struggle a little bit, because it's got to be someone who's going to give you that big kind of CC, whether it's a large AoE CC like a Ravage or something like that, or just a hero that's going to give you something. I don't know, but you have to keep in mind that there's going to be that global silence coming out from Silencer. They're not going to go with any CC at all. I
Dire
mean,
team pick.
Silence, Death Prophet Silence can be considered some kind of CC, but it's not a hard CC. It's not like a stun. There's not a slow or anything to it. But the fact that Death Prophet can constantly throw out her silence, because it's such a huge AoE and it's such a low cooldown, it does give you quite a bit more power in a team fight and a little bit more control in a team fight. So instead of picking up CC, they're going with it that way. And OA will line up or round out their lineup with a Brewmaster. So it's going to be a Brewmaster in the mid lane, Bat Rider off lane, Dusa, Venge, and Silencer safe lane, going up against Jug, AA, and Wind Ranger safe lane, Bristleback off lane, and Death Prophet in the mid lane. Or at least that's what I expect. But we'll see how the players and teams choose to lane this. Let's introduce the players. As we've got
Prepare
on the
for
Radiant
battle.
side, we have Team Pepe's Love Shack playing their Wind Rangers, going to be Exiled. Playing the Ancient Apparitions, going to be Tabo. Playing the Juggernaut is going to be Defucked. I like that name. Playing the Bristleback is going to be Jugs. And playing the Death Prophet is going to be Sneaks. On the Dire side, we have Team OverAchievers. We've seen them in the last couple rounds, but playing their Brewmaster is going to be a new person to us, and that's going to be Sadness. Playing the Bat Rider once again in the offlane is going to be Pig in a Bag. Playing the Silencer isn't going to be Solfu this time, it's going to be Tugarin. Solfu will be on the Vengeful Spirit instead, and that leaves Fear the Reaper to be playing the Dusa, not in the safe lane, but in the mid lane. So it's going to be a safe lane Brewmaster instead. In terms of starting items, well, we've got boots first on the Bat Rider in the off lane. Nothing too surprising there. Besides that, we've got no boots first for anyone else in the game. We've got sentries picked up by the Vengeful Spirit. And then we take a look at the Radiant side, and we've got the Ancient Apparition not only holding a set of sentries, but a smoke as well.
The battle
So looking to
begins.
potentially get something done. Neither team is going to be fighting over the rune, so we're not going to see OverAchievers jump out to an early 2-0 lead right off the start. Instead, we'll have a little bit more of a passive opening. And, well, the bristleback managing to push out and place this observer ward, which is just outside of the range of this sentry ward. So not able to catch it with that sentry. And then they place another sentry trying to catch an observer ward here, but not finding any. There's pretty much only 2 locations that observer ward could be. That's going to give them knowledge is going to be there,
Radiant's middle
or
tower is
kind of
under
down
attack.
here. But now that they saw that this camp's blocked, they know that there's no observer ward in Sulfu. Yeah, trying to find it, but unfortunately that observer ward just outside of the range. Oh man, it's close. But he didn't place that there on accident. He knew exactly what he was doing when he placed that observer ward. So a little bit of good knowledge coming out and being displayed from the offlaner for Pepe's Love Shack. And let's actually take a look at our lanes, as we do have the Brewmaster, the Silencer, and, well, the Vengeful Spirit, who's now just made a rotation to mid, going up against the offlane Bristleback. In the mid lane, we've got the Death Prophet and the Dusa squaring off, but Exile's hanging out in the mid lane as well, and I think that's what's forced Sulfu to make the rotation down here. And in the bottom lane, we've got that off-lane Batrider going up against the Ancient Apparition and the Juggernaut. Just used the Chilling Touch, but not able to get a right-click off. So a little bit of a wasted cooldown, a little bit of wasted mana there. Now he will actually get 2 auto attacks off on a Pig in a Bag. Now Tugarn trying to force back this Bristleback, but instead Jug's turning it around and getting a decent amount of damage straight onto that Silencer.
I guess I can get faster.
Looks like both supports have now moved away from that mid lane. Instead, they're kind of running around trying to find each other in this dire jungle. Sulfu evacuating the jungle, as Exile did manage to get that top rune, and it was haste. Now, I think he would have seen Sulfu there, and indeed he definitely has now. And well, I don't think he'll actually be able to do anything. He is going to wait and look for the courier. And where is the courier? Okay, it is there. I can't see it on the minimap. And how close is Deuce to getting her bottle? Well, it's on the way in right now, and it's got 2 bottles on it as well. It's also got the Brewmaster's bottle, and they better protect it. They're going to need Fear the Reaper to back up in this lane and meet the courier, which it doesn't look like he's going to do. And Exile is going to get this courier kill. Here it comes. 1 and 2 auto attacks, and that is absolutely gigantic. 1,400 net worth on that courier 3 minutes into the game. That is absolutely devastating for OA. And now Exile is going to come in from behind on the Fear of the Reaper. Not going to have anything to shackle him to. He's going to wait till he gets closer to the trees, but didn't wait till he got close enough. And just because of that, Fear of the Reaper is going to survive with 43 HP. But man, that was close. That was incredibly close to that shackle being in range to latch there. But unfortunately not working out for them, but just that initial play from Exiled. Getting that kill on the courier will delay those 2 bottles. 1,400 gold worth on that courier. And that's absolutely devastating. That means that, we saw how low Fear the Reaper got, and that forced him all the way back to the fountain. But Jug's managing to get first blood in this top lane up against Tugarn on the Silencer. So Jug's managing to get a 1v2 kill. Now Sulfu getting chased down, but he'll be okay. Fear the Reaper has just returned to the mid lane. And without a bottle on either Sadness or Fear the Reaper, they're really limited in what they're able to do here. Sadness does have quite a bit of HP and mana on the Panda. But Sneaks is taking over control of these runes, and he's got this creep that's been following him the entire way. That creep actually even completely spotted Tabo's rotation, but apparently he just doesn't care. And now he's going to place a sentry ward, trying to find these observer wards, and not going to find one. Because he has that observer ward up there, he can see both these locations, so he doesn't actually have to walk up there and check. However, if they were using this ward location, that would actually be a complete giveaway that they've got an observer ward in this location. So slight little things, but those little things can be picked up by your opponents. These players are definitely good enough to know that. Oh, Fear the Reaper. How is he able to recover in this mid lane? He is managing to stay even with the Death Prophet in terms of CS, despite not having that bottle, which will actually be flying in on the courier right now as it's just respawned. In terms of the top lane, we've got 32 CS on the Brewmaster. We can compare that with the bottom lane, the Juggernaut, which is at 36. So both safe laners relatively even. Jugs with this Bristleback. He's only managed 6 CS, and count that 7 as he gets another last hit. And in the off lane, the Bat Riders managed 21, but that's not fair because he's been doing a little bit more of the jungle as well. In the top lane, Sadness and Jugs exchanging a little bit of damage, and now Sadness has that bottle, so he's going to be able to play a lot more aggressive onto Jugs, and Jugs is going to be a lot more limited in what he's able to get out of this lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Exile getting stunned out by Soulfu as he's come into the enemy jungle trying to find Pig in a Bag. Pig in a Bag's playing really, really cautious. He's at 1,500 gold. He doesn't want to lose any, so he can get his blink up faster, and that means Soulfu is just going to go down without much help. And, well, I'm not even sure if Pig in a Bag came in, if he was going to be able to help in the end as Jugs was making a rotation around. As you look on the minimap in behind to cut them off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ugarn now taking up the role as the offlaner, as that Bat Rider has rotated away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And trying to get what he can. Of course,
Radiant
any XP he can
structures are fortified.
gets him closer and closer to level 6 in that Global Silence. Speaking of level 6, we've got both of our mid laners at level 6. And of course, Sneak's not electing to get his ult at 6, which is actually normal for a Death Prophet. Unless she feels that there's an opportunity to push the mid tower at 6, you're typically not going to get exorcism at 6. Fear the Reaper, of course, it's a little bit different when you're Dusa picking up the Stone Gaze, and that's going to help keep you alive. If they try to do anything aggressive, you can just kind of pop that and walk away. It's kind of like a Naga sleep. It's just a little different, but essentially the same. It serves the same kind of role. Jugs getting stunned out by Soulfu with the Magic Missile. We are going to get a Brewmaster split here, and I think we're going to have a dead Bristleback. And there we go. Sadness getting the kill with that split. And that's the first kill for Overachievers. This one a little bit slower than some of the games that we've seen recently, but now 2-1 in favor of Pepe's Love Shack. And both teams seem to be comfortable with just sitting back and farming, not really able to get too many kills. Or really actually try to do too much in terms of aggression. Exiled's probably been the most aggressive player, or aggressive hero as well in this game, as he's been constantly venturing into the Dire jungle. Hasn't really worked. Well, actually, I was going to say hasn't really resulted in him getting too many kills, but they did get that one kill, and the more important part is that they got the kill on the courier. Now Sadness getting shackled, will get chased down by Jugs. And with all the nasal goo, he's going to be so slow. Exiled will actually get that kill. So 3-1 now in favor of Pepe's Love Shack. And Ping's coming out on this mid-tier 2. And it's going to be Pig in a Bag, who's smoked up. He's going to be coming in, and he's got his Blink Dagger available to him. So he's going to look to get an opening up here on Sneaks and get a lasso off. He should be able to see that Firefly. And oh, he just blinked into an unfortunate situation where he wasn't able to get that lasso off. And now Sneaks is going to run away. Fear the Reaper even tried to get the Stone Gaze off, but Pig in a Bag will finally catch up and get the lasso, which will actually drop Sneaks pretty low because there was a little bit of a duration left on the Firefly, and they'll actually be able to get that kill. But it was looking like Sneaks was going to be able to get away there, but not the case. While that was going on, we even had a trade of the two supports as AA and Silencer both went down in what I believe was the bottom lane. Can't check right now, but I believe it was the bottom lane. Yeah, Juggernaut was the one who got the kill on the Silencer, and he hasn't left bottom. Well, we got a TP to the mid lane from Tabo on the AA. And so both supports hanging out in the mid lane for the Radiant, and Tabo actually looks like he's just going to be doing a little bit of counter warding, where he's going to find this Observer Ward
Radiant's top tower is under attack
and remove it from the playing field. And that was actually the last piece of vision that the Dire had on the map, and they're going to place another one here in the mid lane. So Soulfu trying to get a little bit more vision to help protect his mid carry, but this Observer Ward actually would have spotted him playing the Observer Ward. Question is whether or not anyone on the Radiant side actually saw Soulfu actually place that, and whether or not they were watching his inventory, but apparently Tabo was. So he's going to walk right on over this. He's going to place the Sentry Ward, and oh, he almost missed it. But then they immediately ping it out. So maybe they actually didn't know it, but they were just checking with the Sentry. But either way, Defuct will try and get a kill here as he's about to go down, but not able to do so. He still had Omni Slash on cooldown, so nice rotation from Pig in a Bag, getting that, using that lasso and the Blink Dagger to get a second kill of the game. So he's 2 for 2 after getting that Blink Dagger. Now Fear the Reaper's getting wrapped around on by Exiled. The Shackle Shot will come through, but still won't latch. Fear the Reaper so close to getting latched twice there, but unfortunately, because that didn't happen, Exiled not able to get a kill there. Now Jugs TPs to the bottom lane, and Juggernaut will TP as well. Well, both teams still farming away. I'm actually a little surprised that we had the Bristleback coming down here and the Juggernaut, but I guess they're going to look to push this tier 1 tower as well. It's just a Silencer down here, and if they look to push this tier 1 tower, the only one that's really on the on the Dire side that's going to be good at kind of wave clearing is actually going to be the Bat Rider. I mean, Panda could do it to some extent, but either way, you're locking up, or locking down, I should say, a hero that wants to be moving around the map and putting pressure on their opponent. Both have their Blink Daggers.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Pig in a Bag is hunting, trying to find someone. I think he saw Sneaks making that rotation, but unfortunately not able to get there in time. And yeah, Pig in a Bag just destroying some trees now. Sadness made a rotation through the Radiant jungle, but not finding anyone, as everyone on the Radiant side knows exactly what's up. They're hiding under their tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. And we're actually going to have Defuct TP to the top lane, where he'll join Exiled to take down this tier 1 tower. And because all the Dire heroes have made a rotation out of that bottom lane, they're not going to be able to trade here. And this is actually going to be a free tier 1 tower for Pepe's Love Shack. And good rotation from them to create that opportunity, and that's going to allow them to get a tier 1 tower. But that rotation from OA out of the bottom lane has resulted in them all grouping up in the mid lane, where they're going to be supporting Fear the Reaper, who's got a double damage rune, and in one more auto attack we'll take that mid tower, and there it goes. Ice Blast will come in, just hits Fear the Reaper, but they're not going to be able to act on that. So we've got 2 towers down thus far, just 8 hero kills. And let's actually switch over to net worth and get a better idea of who's kind of leading the way. It is going to be the Jug, but he's almost deadlocked with the Dusa, both at 5,800 CS. Or 5,800 CS, that would be really impressive. 5,800 net worth. Then it's the Brewmaster at 5k, the Death Prop at 4.6. Then the 2 offlaners, the Bat and the Brewmaster, pretty damn even as well, only 200 separating them. Oh, Fear the Reaper getting in a position, trying to play a little bit more aggressive on Jugs. That was all set up. Tabo was going to be able to land the Ice Blast when Fear the Reaper was going to back up. But Fear the Reaper says, why should I back up? I can just pop Stone Gaze and just turn around and kill this fool. And he does just that. Tabo then missed with the Ice Blast as a result. And that just didn't work out for them. They have to know Tabo's in here, based on where that Ice Blast flew out from. But they're... Just going to let him stay in there. Of course he could have TP'd away, but... Interesting that Silencer has elected to pick up a Hand of Midas. That'll help give him some gold and XP, and well, Tabo came out of the trees, but maybe he should have stayed in the trees, as Fear the Reaper is going to get the kill on him, and now they're going to get another kill onto Defuct. Sadness actually getting that one, not Fear the Reaper. Now they're going to try to chase down Exile. It's going to be 3 as Tugarin TP's down to assist his teammates as well. Sadness will blink past. Exile will try to juke back and then try to deny himself to Roshan, but they're not going to let that happen, as Sadness gives him the clap, and that's going to result in his death. Now Sneaks had that exorcism popped and trying to take down that mid-tier 1 tower, got it down to 124 HP, but in turn he'll just have to back away as Pig in a Bag, Sadness, and Tugarin all respond to that push coming out from the exorcism. Fear the Reaper getting a deny on that bottom tier 1 tower. Jugs tried to run up and get the last hit, but wasn't able to get there in time.
Dire's middle tower has been
And on top of that, we had that mid tier 1 tower, which they just responded to keep the Death Prophet from destroying. They'll actually get the deny on it. So we have lost all the tier 1 towers for the Dire side. Radiant's just lost the one in the mid lane. So they're 2 towers ahead right now, so you have to
Radiant's bottom tower
consider that when I open up the gold graph, which I'm going to look up right now. So it's about 2k lead for OverAchievers, despite them having 2 towers worth of gold still to come their way. It looks like they may even get one here. XP, they're also ahead, just past 5k.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Lift will be used here, and I think they're going to stick around and push this, as there hasn't been any kind of response from Pepe's Love Shack. Instead, Pepe's Love Shack will actually look to put some damage on the tier 2. But there goes the tier 1 in the bottom lane. Fear the Reaper getting the last hit on that. And now, looks like OverAchievers is continuing to stick around in the bottom lane. Well, at least Fear the Reaper is. Everyone else is kind of running, making that rotation. Fear the Reaper, no TP though. And Pepe's Love Shack will give up on dealing damage to that tier 2. They actually drew
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Drew some stuff on the map indicating this something about this Dire, this jungle in the tier 2. Now whether or not they're going to look to stick around or not, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And certainly some interesting wards have been used this game, as we've got this Observer ward that typically you use to give you a lot more vision of any kind of positioning of someone up here being protected by their tier 1 tower, but I believe this Observer ward was placed after that tier 1 tower went down. The fuck is going to go down there as he gets picked off with once again another lasso from Pig in a Bag. And OA is going to look to, I think, back up here, as 3 of them have been hit by the Ice Blast, but the effects of that have just worn off. And that's actually an important pickup here, as we see Sneaks just getting his Yule Scepter, and that goes a long, long way for Death Prophet to be for Death Prophet to be effective in these team fights. We saw Soulfu go with the swap there, but didn't realize Sneaks had just picked up that Yule's, and he used that to stay alive, and in turn, it's Soulfu going down. But here we go. We've got the Stone Gaze getting used by Fear the Reaper. That means Exiles, Sneaks, and Jugs all have to run away. Tabo from the side gets a nice Ice Blast off, catching 3, but we just lost Exile. Now Sadness is going to get focused down. He's going to use the split, though. In the meantime, Fear the Reaper trying to chase Tabo, but he's being juked for days.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And looks like everyone else on OA is going to run away. Finally, Fear the Reaper manages to get that kill onto Tabo. But that Dusa was basically tied up the entire fight chasing that Ancient Apparition around. And eventually was able to get the kill, but wasn't really able to help his teammate teammates too much. But kills a kill. His teammates were fine. They didn't die. So I guess it's okay in the end. And now, how will they look to proceed in this game as OA? Despite that opening with Soulfu with a swap that was a little ill-advised, and only ill-advised because he hadn't just checked Sneak's inventory. We saw him pick up the Yules less than 20 seconds, maybe even less than that, before Soulfu made that swap. But despite that, the start to that and losing the Vengeful Spirit, they do manage to get 2 kills. Well, they just threw the Wave of Terror down into the Roche pit. So not only is Roche affected by it, helping speed up Pepe's Love Shack's kill of it, but now they've got vision. They're going to engage. Sadness jumps in with the clap. The Aegis has been picked up by the Juggernaut, who has been dragged up onto the pillar here, so he will be able to respawn in just a second as the Aegis will bring him back. We've also lost Fear the Reaper. And how did he just get 4-staffed? Who is the 4-staff? Oh, right. Exileds picked up a 4-staff on the Wind Ranger. I recall him picking that up quite a while ago, but just forgot about it. I thought he was going to be stuck up there, but yeah, I'm completely wrong. I knew that we had Pig in a Bag working towards his 4-staff, which it looks like he's finished. And I guess we're probably not going to have an engage here on this tier 2 tower, so we'll quickly cycle through the heroes and the items. 4-staff on the Wind Ranger. Nothing on the Ancient Apparition but 1,000 gold. Juggernaut with the Yasha and the Mask of Madness. Bristleback with the Sange and the drums. And then the Death Prophet with, of course, that Yule Scepter. On the Dire side, we've got a Blink and a Vlad's on Sadness. We've got a Blink and a 4-staff on the Bat Rider. We've got still that Midas and now an Oblivion Staff on Tugarin, so it looks like he's working towards a Refresher. Nothing for Sofu, but this set of brown boots and some wards. And then that leaves us with Fear the Reaper, who's picked up a set of drums, a Yasha, and now an Ultimate Orb. So going to be most likely finishing his Manta soon, or he may just choose to go Yasha straight into Scotty. We'll have to wait and see. I have a feeling it is going to be a Manta. He does have enough gold to purchase it. But probably going to be managing his reliable gold a little bit better than that. As getting the Manta a few seconds earlier isn't really going to help all that much, although he could pretty much buy it right now. He will buy a TP and look to potentially come up into the top lane where we've had an engage as Pig in a Bag has jumped forward using that lasso once again to get another kill. And now Ice Blast is going to come through. It's going to affect 2 heroes. We've already had the Brewmaster split, which is chasing down Jugs, and looks like it is going to get the kill. They just got the stun from the Earth one. And a few more right clicks. There we go. Fear the Reaper is going to get the last hit.
Top tower is under attack.
And they've not only got 2 kills, but protected their top tower and top lane. And that's going to give Fear the Reaper even more space to continue farming up. As, he has purchased something with his gold, and what's flying in on the courier? It's another Ultimate Orb. So not going with the Manta. In turn, he's going to be going with a Scotty. So he is doing the drums Yasha straight into Scotty. And now they're going to look to push this tier 1 tower. Keep in mind, they still haven't caught up in terms of towers with Pepe's Love Shack. So they are behind a little bit of gold available to them there. But looks like we're not going to take it easily as Sneaks has popped the Exorcism. But the more important thing was the Omni Slash, which managed to get the kill not just on Fear the Reaper, but on Sadness. 2 of the most farmed cores on OverAchievers go down to start that off. And the rest quickly follow as they lose 4, not even getting 1 kill or the tower. The only one able to get out of there was Pig in a Bag, who now has lasso available to him, but I believe with that engagement didn't. Tower only got down to 317 HP. So definitely a one-sided fight for Pepe's Love Shack, and let's actually bring up the gold graph here and see what effect that had on everything. And, well, that puts Pepe's Love Shack actually ahead, as we were right around 0. We're pretty damn close to 0. We're almost about 1,000 gold lead for OverAchievers when that happened, but now this puts the 1,000 in the other direction as Pepe's Love Shack definitely came out ahead of that engage. And that brings the XP back almost to even as well. Pig in a Bag has a Firefly popped, looking for another Blink Lasso, but not able to find it. Pepe's Love Shack backing just in time to not be vulnerable to that Bat Rider. Well, Dusa still is our top farmer despite how that last engage has gone, but the Death Prophet definitely able to catch up on the back of that, as she was nowhere near that close until that last engage, and now she's, what was that, 800 gold behind. So, Sneaks definitely accelerating his farm. He's got a soul booster, so it looks like he's going to go for, and there it is, the Bloodstone as he finishes it. Looks like we've got a little bit of group up here from OverAchievers. I wonder if they're going to try anything with smoke. They do have smoke on Solfu. And there we go. They just finished the Scotty on their Dusa. So you could say this is a timing. Whether or not they'll choose to be aggressive on it. At the same time, we've also got a little bit of a power spike coming out from the Radiant side as Jug has just finished his Manta. Probably the most important pickup out of any item in this game is going to be when Tugarin manages to finish this refresher orb, as that's going to be absolutely devastating. 2 global silences is so damn hard to play against. And the only way you can play against it is have items like the Yule Scepter that's already on the Death Prophet. And, well, I guess Manta could dispel it. And then something like a BKB, but there's no one even building anything like that, despite those 2 heroes that already have something like that. But that only covers you for the first global silence, not the second. So we'll look how they choose to deal with it. Maybe they're just going to say, you know what? Let's just make it so Tugarin never finishes that refresher orb. Oh, Sneaks and Jugs, and not just them, but more of them are going to make the rotation up there to try and pick off Sadness. But Sadness actually able to blink away thanks to this Observer Ward. And you saw, as soon as he responded to that, they immediately pinged out here. But there's an Observer Ward here. This is the route that they took. So they thought they were spotted here, and he was just waiting a little bit longer, but instead they were spotted here. Once again, picking a bag, blinking forward, gets a lasso off onto Sneaks, and that's exactly what you want to do going up against a Death Prophet. Kill her before she's able to pop that Exorcism, really have an impact on the fight. Global Silence was used at the same time. And now they're going to try to focus down Tabo, and they will. Oh, with that last auto attack. It looked like he almost had the TP off in time, but he goes down to the Brewmaster. And now Jugs getting swapped by Soulfu. Soulfu trying to get in front of him to get the body block, but just not able to get there in time. Just maybe if he had 1 or a little bit more move speed, just a little bit higher than 362, he would have been able to get there in time, but fortunately not able to do so. With those pickoffs, OA now jumps out to a 15-12 lead in terms of kills. We bring up the gold graph. It brings it right back down to 0. So this one is very, very even thus far. But you do have to keep in mind that this is a Dusa on the Dire side. So you have to favor them a little bit late game. And if you're even now with the more late game hero, you're going to be okay. We're going to lose not just Tugarin, but also Sadness, as he's going to get hack and slashed down from the Omni Slash coming out from Defuct. Now, on the back of those 2 pickoffs, I think Pepe's Love Shack will look to push this tier 2, and this should not be defended by OA. So we should have this tier 2 claimed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. It's a little bit difficult doing a solo cast, but
Dire's
just bear with me here for a second.
has fallen.
Here we go. Gotta manage my voice, as we do have another game after this. This is just the semifinals. So there's still one more game to go, the finals, and I can't have a dead voice for the finals. That's not going to make for the best casting. But I can definitely feel my voice already, so hopefully it'll hang with us. Taking a quick look at everyone's items, we've got 1,300 gold on Tugarin, despite the fact that he just died. And they're even giving him a little bit of farm in that mid lane, realizing the importance of that refresher orb and devoting a little bit of the farm on the map to him. Sadness has another 2,200, still hasn't picked up anything after that blink of Vlad's. Looks like Pig in a Bag's going to be after Yule's. Jugs picked up his S and Y, but that was a while ago. We've almost got a Yule's finished by Tabo. Exiled. There's a Gloves of Haste. I wonder what that's for. Maybe Maelstrom? And Sneaks. We haven't seen him pick up anything since the Bloodstone. And the last hero on the Radiant side, we've got Defuct with a point booster, so working towards his eggs. Well, we've got another Ultimate Orb getting picked up by Fear the Reaper, so that's going to most likely go towards completing his Manta, getting paired up with the Yasha. Soulfu still hasn't made any item progression. He's been struggling a little bit there. And we've pretty much covered everyone else. We've got 1,800 gold now on Tugarin. So he's about to hit 1,875. What is... I can never remember the price of this damn item because they changed it. Either way, he's going to buy it. Go away so I can click. There we go. It's 1800 for the refresher orb recipe. It used to be 1875. I can never remember what they changed it to. And it's going to be 1800, so he's going to pick that up. And now it's just a matter of him, with that refresher orb recipe, just finishing this perseverance, which means... Wow, he's actually... I was going to say he's 875 gold away. He's not. He's 350 away. Well, actually 300 now. But looks like we may have an engage before then. We're going to have an observer ward placed up onto this pillar. And whose sentry is that? Oh, it's not going to matter. It is a dire sentry. But we've already had an engage here, so we're going to lose both Pig in a Bag and Solfu. Didn't expect them to actually jump there, but they did. And we're going to have, once again, 2 heroes getting picked off, and then a tier 2 going down, and they're pinging to move forward. We're going after the tier 3s here. Roche is available for them if they choose to back, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Exorcism will get popped, and that tier 3 is going to start getting mowed down pretty quickly here.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Still 10 seconds before the Venge is up, and another 21 before the bat. And the tier 3 is going to be down long before that. We're going to have the Stone Gaze used to initiate here. Jugs is in behind. He's going to try to open up from the side, but in turn he'll actually just decide to back up and get return to his team. And it looks like Pepe's Love Shack will actually choose just to back away. So they did get the tier 3 tower, but you have to question, maybe it would have been better for them to go for Roche in that decision because they weren't able to get racks. But OverAchievers definitely recognizing the fact that Roche is something that's available to them, and they're going to go right for that.
Regeneration.
And now Pig in a Bag flying up over that that pillar, just giving his sentry ward a little bit of vision. There was the potential of them having placed an observer ward, and in fact they did, so they'll spot that out and get that vision off the map, and now they'll look to chip away at Roche here. Most of the heroes from Pepe's Love Shack actually moved quite a bit away, but we did have an Ice Blast flying in. That did hit 3, and that's going to force OA to back away, and that's going to buy the time that Pepe's Love Shack needed for them all to get back to Roche's pit. It was pretty much just Jugs, the only one hanging around. Close enough. Now they'll walk into the Roche pit, not because they want to do it, but because they want to at least check Roche's HP, and now they'll actually decide to do it. As say, you know what? You've got to fight into us, but we've got the double global silence available, so this could be a little bit scary. There's the first global silence. Everyone's getting silenced up. We've got this Brewmaster split already coming out. There's the second silence, and Jugs is going to go down before anything else happens. We even have Defuct, who was lassoed and dropped onto this high ground, who wants to Omni Slash. But he won't be able to until he gets 4-staff down by Exile. There comes the Omni Slash, and that's going to claim the life of Pig in a Bag as well as Exiled. Tugarin will go down. Or sorry, Pig in a Bag and Tugarin. Exiled will go down as well. And now they're going to look to chase down Sneaks. It's just... well, I was going to say 3 versus 2, but it's not so much anymore. It's now going to be 3v3 as all the heroes have joined back up. Looks like Sneaks is going to go down, though, without too much help from his teammate. He does get the deny or commit suicide with the Bloodstone. And he had a decent amount of charges, so it won't take him too long to respawn. He'll be back up in just 20 seconds from now. Ice Blast flying through will catch Solfu, as he was quite low on HP, so nice snipe there coming out from Tabo. And now he'll look to run into Roche's pit right as Roche goes down, trying to steal the Aegis. But he just goes down. Fear the Reaper was way too quick to pick up that. So we've got a BKB getting picked up by the Brewmaster, so even if he gets silenced by the Death Prophet, he's going to be able to just pop his BKB and get that split off if need be. It looks like we've got the Yules practically finished by the Bat Rider. Just needs to pick up that Void Stone, which he's just 300 gold away from. Well, Tugarin's got the only item that really matters for him, but he still has managed to pick up another 1100 gold. That Midas, as well as the kills he was a part of in that team fight, really paying off for him. Still, Solfu not making any item progression. He's not playing position 5 this game. He's playing what I like to call his position 6. He's been buying all the support items with pretty much no help from his teammates, getting very little in terms of item progression. And that's where it comes down to you really managing your reliable gold to help you progress in items. But sometimes you're just managing your reliable gold just to be able to maintain getting those wards. He hasn't had the best game overall, 0, 6, and 10. So he's actually been a part of 10 kills. 10 of 19 isn't that bad, but unfortunately dying 6 times is never what you want. And that actually, well, that should bring us over to Deuces at 3,300 gold. So she should have her next item coming out relatively soon. And let's cycle through the Radiant side as well. Sneaks, still nothing. Picked up a Perseverance, has another 3,000 gold on top of him. I wonder what the Perseverance for. Is it Lincoln's? Is it maybe even a refresher? We'll have to wait and see. Jugs hasn't picked up anything either. 2,700 gold is available to him. And I wonder, I mean, 2,700 gold, immediately you think of a Mystic Staff. And I wonder if Shiva's actually isn't a bad item pickup for him, and he may choose to go with something like that. It's going to give him a little bit more armor, just give him that tank ability going up against the Dusa. Not really that he really needs it, but it's also going to allow them to slow everyone down and help them control the fight a little bit better.
Pin.
Well, Exiled will find Pig in a bag and get the nice shackle off and then pop that ultimate. And with that Maelstrom that he picked up, that means he's going to dish out a lot of damage as he got a lot of procs. They even used a global silence there to help keep their teammates alive, but it just didn't work out for them. They will lose the Bat Rider and not able to get any kind of return kill, and now they're going to be on the defensive here. So, no, Pepe's Love Shack will not choose to push. They're going to back away here, and I guess rightfully so. Sneaks is all the way down here. He's not going to be able to join up with them. And even Exiled was kind of up around the Ancient area, and he's just going to stay farming in the mid lane. Point out that well, it's actually flying in on the courier right now that they picked up an ultimate orb, and you can see that is going to be a Lincoln's for Sneaks. Well, we've got 3 heroes hanging out here in the top lane for the Radiant side, and they're going to get engaged on by OverAchievers. And we've got an Omni Slash jumping around. I know you can't hear it because of the global silence, but now Defuct is going to get swapped right back in to these heroes of OverAchievers, and they're going to get that kill on the Juggernaut. They're going to look to get another kill onto Jugs, who just wasn't able to get the kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. He'll try to TP away, but not successful. Not like Sofu was. So they get that kill onto Jugs, and Sadness was even able to chase down Tabo. So all 3 of those heroes that were staying up there for some unknown reason for Pepe's Love Shack will find themselves engaging on 5 heroes, and well, all of them go down. A little bit of a mistake there coming out from Pepe's Love Shack. Obviously they had something else planned, but not really sure what that was, because it was a complete disaster for them, and definitely didn't result in anything positive. Look at the amount of gold that Tugarin has. He was just a part. He got 1 kill there and 1 assist, and he's exploded in net worth up to 3,800, or 3,800 gold on hand, cash on hand. His net worth is, of course, much higher than that. Is with the refresher. That's quite the expensive item. Well, I guess now is as good a time as any to bring up this net worth graph, and we can see we're still not that far from 0. It is slightly Pepe's Love Shack favored, but frankly, that amount of gold does not mean anything at this point in the game. We're 39 minutes into this one, and when the biggest difference that we've seen has been 5k, you know this has been a close game. In terms of XP earned, well, it's slightly OA favored, but once again, that doesn't really mean anything either. And this one, still, haven't seen much higher than 5k difference. So this game's been kind of up and down, but it's been close in its up and downness all game long. Well, we got another Scotty picked up by Defuct. I'm not sure when he picked that up. I don't recall. But we're going to see Fear the Reaper spend that gold that he was hoarding there, and he's going to pick up a butterfly. Just going to buy the entire thing outright. Now we've got 5 heroes for Pepe's Love Shack gathering in the bottom, but the only one's visible. 4 of them are smoked. So they're going to stand behind Defuct and have him bait a little bit, but this situation has to arrive pretty quickly, as it's going to be obvious that they're not there with the mid lane, but Pig in a Bag is going to engage. They are going to get the global silence off, and that's going to While on the back of that, Defuct is going to get his Omni Slash off, but he's still going to go down without getting a kill. Sneaks has the Exorcism popped, but he's just basically stuck there. I guess he was stunned up by the Storm Spirit split, or sorry, the Earth Spirit Brewmaster split. There we go, one of the damn spirits. I think it actually is called the Earth Spirit in this game. It's still like the three primal spirits. I think it's still called Earth, Wind, and Fire, I think. But either way, I think it stunned up the Death Prophet that had Exorcism popped, but she just wasn't able to do anything else. She was just standing still. And that had allowed OA to get a four kills in that team fight, not losing any, despite the fact that Pepe's Love Shack was setting up that entire scenario. Maybe they didn't expect OA to engage as 5 in that pickup. They were just hoping that maybe 2 or 3 were going to be a part of that. Ooh, Ice Blast flying in was just a little off the mark, not able to catch Soul Fu. I think that would have resulted in a kill. Actually, no, it wouldn't. We don't have Egg Scepter available, right? It's just a level 2. It probably wouldn't have done enough damage. I don't think so. 20 damage per second over 9 seconds is basically like 200 damage, which would still not have put Soul Fu in below the 10%. And we also have to factor in the fact that there's magical resistance involved there too, so it wouldn't have finished him off. Right. Oh, he's throwing out another one, so we have to wait. There we go. Yeah, he actually would have just died with that. Would have been close. Would have been very, very close. Had to do a little bit of math in my head. But yeah, Soul Fu actually would have died from that Ice Blast, even with magic resistance. I think he would have survived the initial hit, but he would have just ticked out. Well, it didn't hit, so that didn't matter in the end.
Every coin helps.
But Exiled, he did pick up that Maelstrom, as I pointed out, and it looks like he's going to go for an Egg Scepter after that, which means that he can pick up other proc-based items. Of course, Maelstrom actually works with it, but... Okay, he's going to look to pick up that Egg Scepter, so he's going to be able to be a little bit more of a right-click powerhouse. Despite the fact that he started this game as a support. But we've only had 46 kills in this game in 43 minutes. This has been a lot more passive than the games that we were casting earlier in the night. But that doesn't mean it hasn't been a close one. It's been a good game thus far. Just a little bit more tactical and reserved than maybe our other games. But we are going to have OA marching down this bottom lane as 5 heroes. It's a little weird that they're not showing 2 of the heroes. They're not showing the Venge and the Batrider, but they're showing the Silencer in lane with the Dusa. It's kind of a little bit of a giveaway, I'd say, that they're kind of all there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pepe's Love Shack once again manipulating the map a little bit more to their advantage, as they got a push going in the mid lane, and that's going to force OA to come back and defend. But you can make the same argument that OA has got that push in the bottom lane, and someone from Pepe's Love Shack is going to have to go back and defend that. So who's buying time? Is it OA buying time for the Dusa, or is it Pepe's Love Shack just not feeling like fighting at that moment, instead just kind of avoiding their opponent and avoiding any kind of fight? Guess that means we can quickly cycle through the items and see if maybe there's an item that they're getting close to. Doesn't look like it. Bristleback's close to getting, I'm guessing that's a BKB. Besides that, they don't have any new items coming out. In terms of OA, well, they picked up the AC on the Brewmaster. Yeah, the BKB, but it's quite a ways out for the Batrider, and looks like we might have an engage here. We've got a Sheepstick as well on the Silencer. There comes the first Global Silence. Keep in mind, there's a second one still available. They've just used the lasso to bring Defuct once again up onto the high ground, so he's stuck up there again. God, he's got to be hating that Bat Rider, as he can't get down. Now we're going to have an Ice Blast fly through. It's not going to hit on anyone from the Dire side. And looks like OA is going to be cleaning up in this team fight, as they're going to move back into Roche Pit. But keep in mind, Defuck's still up there. He will get Force Staffed down by Exiled. But that's going to cost Exile his life, as he was standing in the pit. He was cycloned up. And now Defucked will get right-click down. Well played comes out from Exile. And I don't think that's actually them saying GG.
Here's beer in your eye.
But here we go. They're going to keep trying to kill the last remaining member of Pepe's Love Shack, which is Tabo, and claim that kill. Roche went down in the meantime. Fear the Reaper picked up the Aegis, and was it Soulfu? Yeah, okay. Soulfu picked up the cheese. I know they were pinging it out. Maybe I thought that they had just left it on the ground for someone else to come and pick up. But it will be Soulfu holding on to it for now.
Radiant's middle
not he'll
tower
pass
is
it to
under
someone
attack.
else. I imagine he will. He may actually just hold on to it until
Radiant's middle tower has
Fear the
fallen.
Reaper is going to need it after the Aegis goes down.
Radiant
But OA
structures
will
are fortified.
start chipping away at this tier 3 tower. This tier 3 tower should go down before I think Pepe's Love Shot's going to be able to defend. And
Radiant's middle
Soulfu dropping the
tower
cheese
has
on the ground. It's going to be Tugarin that's going to hold on to it. There goes our first set of
Radiant's
racks
middle
going down.
has fallen.
And oh, are they going to get an opening here onto Sneaks? Who will have to use the Yules. He's lost a lot of his HP. And now, oh my goodness, this could be the end of the game. Stonegaze getting used. That's going to get them 2 kills, both on the Death Prophet and the Brewmaster, or in the Bristleback. The Brewmaster now having to use Split, as he was getting kind of low. But he needs to make sure he doesn't get too overextended past his team, as he'll run back with the Earth. So it actually isn't called an Earth Spirit, it's just called an Earth. But they are primal spirits. It doesn't call it anywhere in the abilities. But here we go. We've got Defuck going forward, but there's that global silence. Sadness is actually TPing away. But there's still 4 heroes for OA. Still in this Radiant base, and it's only Exile, the one left alive. Good game, well played, will now come out. And yeah, they don't really have any way of defending this. They've got another 60 seconds before their jug's up. They do have buyback on the Death Prophet, but that's going to be it. OA, once again, is going to advance to the finals of the Semi-Pro Cup Series. God, I keep saying that wrong. And well, OA won on Thursday. If they win this next match, they're going to have won 2 SCSs in a row. And they were mentioning it in the lobby. That means it's going to say on the front page, it says both the winners of the last Thursday one and the last Sunday one. So it's going to say OverAchievers for both. But we can't get too ahead of ourselves. That's 1 game down the line, as they still have to win that one. But yeah, finals coming up next. Hopefully you guys enjoy the cast, and hopefully you're going to stick with us for the next one. If you do, hit that follow button, twitch.tv/NizCast. Also, hit me up with a follow on both Twitter and YouTube. Both of those are NizCast as well. But without further ado, I'm going to hop into that lobby and throw it to some music. So hopefully you guys enjoy some Approaching Nirvana in the meantime. And hopefully we're going to get set for a great grand finals match.